Hey, welcome back to ASOJack's Media Grounds. I am Chris, and tonight we're taking a look at In the Gray. This is the newest movie from Guy Ritchie, directed and written by him. It's starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Henry Cavill, Isa Gonzalez, and Rosamund Pike. And this is a movie about a international fugitive who has stolen $1 billion from a capital company, asset company. When it comes to like who's in what kind of position and everything, they don't really go into detail on that. You're introduced to Isa Gonzalez, who kind of explains that her job is to get back money for this asset company or for asset companies by working within the gray. She's willing to do things that are both legal and illegal. And so it's kind of introduced to that, her character of Rachel Wilde, and she explains the whole setup of the motivation behind the movie. And it's honestly that first 10-15 minutes of setup explaining the motivation behind the movie that drags the pacing of the movie down a little. For an hour and 38-minute long movie, it's very quick paced once we get past that explanation. Once they introduce Henry Cavill and Jake Gyllenhaal as her kind of right-hand men that work within the gray. They kind of do the illegal things for her. And one deals with the money side of it, and the other one deals with the espionage side of it. And so, entertainment-wise, this is within Guy Ritchie's wheelhouse. If you've seen Snatch, Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, Wrath of Man, The Gentleman, there's something about those movies that Guy Ritchie obviously makes you feel like when he writes movies that deal with some illegal organization and a head of that organization, and then all these other little gears start to come together within, like, where money's being taken and they got to get money back.
The police are on payroll.
They're very entertaining gangster movies, and that's what Guy Ritchie does best, is like these gangster movies. And so it kind of makes one person think that with how well he writes these characters that kind of live within this illegal area, if he doesn't have some personal background or personal history with him, that's allowed him to write such such characters, I should say. And I mean, the chemistry between Henry Cavill's Sid and Jake Gyllenhaal's Bronco is so entertaining to watch on this in this movie on screen. There's just, I want to see more of these two actors together in movies. They did such a great job in it. They're both very entertaining to watch.
It should take the bump out
And
of the wind.
it's easy to sit down and after watching this movie, I can easily say, yeah, I'm going to rewatch this one. I think it has a very high rewatchability, especially once you've seen it the first time and you couldn't move past like the slow portion at the beginning of the movie. Because once you know the motivation, you don't really need to know the motivation again, so you can kind of skip that portion and actually just pick the movie up at the point where it goes, and it just is so entertaining. So it's a very rewatchable movie. Completely entertaining, and the pacing for an hour and 38 minutes was good. My final thoughts on this one is, overall, this is a 4 out of 5. It was a very entertaining movie that just it going into it based on the trailer, it broke every expectation I had when it came to it. I didn't know if this was going to fall in line with Guy Ritchie's King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, which, you know, overused slow motion, and just it wasn't something that falls within Guy Ritchie's wheelhouse, or if this was going to fall in Wrath of Man or Snatch, which are very entertaining, rewatchable movies. And I'm happy to see that this one falls within that wheelhouse of his, with Wrath of Man and Snatch. And so, if you haven't had a chance to see it, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, or what you thought about it. Think about hitting that like button, and subscribe to the channel. And I've got these weekend reviews for movies that come out of theater, and then on Wednesdays I am putting out my new Catch Up Wednesday, where I'm watching older movies that I haven't seen before. I'm trying to avoid like the really popular ones, but I'll probably end up going and watching some of the more popular ones that I never saw, like Devil Wears Prada. And if you did enjoy this movie, I do have some recommendations for you. If you haven't seen The Gentleman, which was also from Guy Ritchie, Wrath of Man, another Guy Ritchie movie. The Town, this one was from Ben Affleck. And then Smoking Aces. These are 4 movies that I would recommend if you're looking for something else to kind of continue this kick down an entertaining road. And I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.